Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FTBL. Today is Transfer Talk, a very special deadline day drama for you guys. There's action all around the league, man. Every single team, it seems like, has been part of a blockbuster deal at some point during this window. And today, where honestly, January transfer windows, the deadline day, I feel like is usually calm. You usually know what's going to happen. You see United in action. You see Arsenal getting a deal over the line. You see Chelsea on the last day of the January transfer window, which I never thought I'd see in my life, attempting to break the British transfer record of all time. That's crazy to me. But we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to break down. We might grade a few of the big teams around England. Before we get into all of that, Culture Cams, how are you today, bro?
All good, bro. My phone is non-stop ringing, getting all these calls, you know what I mean? People are telling me hold on. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been told that's it. Yeah. All right, nice one. Bro, I've been told that Sabitzer, he's at the training ground now.
Confirmation. Look, man, we'll talk about United for sure because honestly, the mood around the club 12 hours ago was crazy compared to what it is now when we found out Eriksen was going down. But let's talk about, and we're gonna talk about Cancelo too, guys. Don't worry about that. I see y'all in the comment section right now. We'll address him. I'll address him for sure. But we're gonna start at the top. We're gonna start with Arsenal because they're the ones who just announced their big move of the window, or their second one, I guess, in Jorginho. And this is a club, Cam, that their two big targets it seemed this window were Mykhailo Mudryk, who eventually they lost their bid to Chelsea and ended up signing Leandro Trossard. And the last few weeks, it seemed like Moises Caicedo was their number one target for that midfield position. And again, they've kind of dropped down to their second or third option in Jorginho, which for me is such a random move. It's not a move that I think had any kind of traction ahead of the last few days. It kind of came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, Jorginho is now the backup for Thomas Partey. So if we were to give a grade to Arsenal, they've signed two good players, in my opinion. They've improved the depth in two positions that they needed to. But is it a bit underwhelming for you seeing a team that's at the top of the table? And we've seen, for me, I keep going back to Liverpool, how hard it is to sustain success at the top. And Arsenal are just tasting it at the moment. But when you think of the big names they wanted to kind of fall to second choice in this point of the season, is it a bit disappointing for you if you're an Arsenal fan?
I don't think it should be that disappointing. I'll be honest. I feel like it's all optics, bro. It's all optics. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, they wanted Mudryk, so they get Trossard, and it's a bad signing or whatever. But like, look, you got to look at it, right? Trossard is one of those players that's Prem proven. You know what I mean? Prem understands the Premier League. He's gonna kick. He's gonna be make an impact. I think instantly. He doesn't have to take time to settle or anything like that. And if you look at what Arteta's done, I tweeted earlier, like he signed Ramsdale, Ben White, Zinchenko, Jesus, Trossard, and Jorginho. So he clearly values the familiarity of the Premier League. Do you get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
So when people are talking about, you know, Trossard, they could have got Mudryk or whatever, bro. What Arsenal are trying to do is cash in on winning this league now. They can think about their future and the signings for the future and stuff in the summer. But we're going on as if, first and foremost, people are going on as if Caicedo is Patrick Vieira in his prime. He's not, mate. You know what I mean? He's not. Jorginho is a weird one, I'll be honest, like, because I think Jorginho is a good player. I mean, I think he's a decent player. I think he was key to what Chelsea used to do. But the situation is kind of like Chelsea to Arsenal sale again. And you look at the other ones that they've done it. Chelsea know when to move these guys on. And they moved it on with Willian, Peter Cech, David Luiz. So the Jorginho one is a little bit of a weird one. And that, like a comment here by Miles, is it's just the fact that they are different profiles, which is a little bit confusing. But I think adding Jorginho into the team isn't a bad signing. Do I think if Jorginho starts ahead of Xhaka or Jorginho starts ahead of what's his name? Partey, they're going to be probably a little bit worse? Yes, I do, because, you know what I mean, Arsenal right now are great at stopping transitions and stuff. But do I think he can offer something to Arsenal? I actually do, you know. I think Arsenal fans are panicking a little bit. You know what I mean? They're panicking because they saw the names mentioned. But are you 100% sure Onana, Caicedo are 100% gonna clear of what Jorginho is now. I do understand that Caicedo and Onana are different profiles. I think Arteta wants to make Arsenal physically peak, tough to play against. They want Declan Rice. I think they want to make him physically peak. So going to the Jorginho route, I understand it's a little bit confused. That's where I'm most confused. But in terms of acting like Caicedo and Onana, guaranteed Arsenal are going to go and win the league. Nah.
I hear you, right? They aren't guarantees. Onana debate at this moment is he improvement on Xhaka in the position that he's playing. Like Xhaka for me is kind of the most advanced Arsenal midfielder at this point. That's not really where Caicedo takes positions on the pitch. But I do hear the criticism from Arsenal fans in terms of the ambition side of things, bro, because this is now the second January transfer window in a row. And honestly, it's like 3 windows in a row now where Arteta has key targets that he's identified. And Arteta, one thing for sure that you have to give him is that he has a good eye for talent. His signings usually bang. But this is now 3 transfer windows in a row now with Douglas Luiz last summer where they didn't get him. Vlahovic in January last year, they didn't get him. And now 2 signings here where, they're going for their second choice. You have a guy who, on a pretty limited budget compared to the big 6 teams, has your team flying, has your team first in the league. And as an Arsenal fan, I would want to see that manager backed even more and given his primary targets. And they've already shown they're willing to go to 60 million pounds, 65 million pounds. Now, if Brighton are asking for 80 million pounds to back Arteta, should you not be going that extra mile and putting those 15 million pounds in? Because if the truth is they're going to go back for him in the summer, Brighton are going to magically drop their number down to 70 million pounds. They're going to ask for that same figure again, if not more, because there's going to be more teams going after them. So from an Arsenal point of view, I understand the criticism in that you eventually have to back Arteta with his primary targets. And to this point, they've done it here and there for sure, right? Zinchenko, Jesus. But I keep saying it, staying at the top is harder than getting there. And staying at the top requires you to continue adding and improving your team and your starting 11.
Yeah, the problem is, obviously, I understand Arsenal fans will be pissed at not getting their first targets. You know what I mean? If Arteta wants the player, you got to do whatever you want to go and get those targets. But the thing is, I feel like the blame, if any blame has to be put on, it has to be put on Arteta. I mean, sorry, it has to be put on Edu. I agree with that. It has to be put on Edu because you look at Rafinha, you look at Alessandro, you look at Caicedo. I won't include Onana. I don't think they went that hard for him.
Nah, I was gonna say Vlahovic.
Vlahovic. There was someone, Locatelli. I'm sure they were really wanted Locatelli at one point as well. There's a few people where it's like Arsenal are not getting it over the line through little things. Is it the extra 5 million? Is it the extra 10 million? Is it 15 million? Is it the payment package? Whatever it is, Arsenal are being a little bit slow in that market on that side of things. So I understand why Arsenal fans are frustrated in that part. But in terms of the Jorginho coming in terms of Jorginho, I don't think they should be that vexed that a Jorginho has come in. Do you get what I mean? Like, listen, I get it, underwhelming, but I don't think they should be that angry about Jorginho. But what it is that Jorginho is the representation of Edu's kind of run. Is it, look at me with Jorginho is a much more quality player, but it's the same thing with me with the Weghorst signing. I'm like, why are we in this position? Do you know what I mean? Why are we in this position? So that's
especially because Edu last summer, Cam, if you remember, had that whole thing where he basically came out and said, we're trying to move away from those Willian kinds of signings. We're trying to aim for a certain age bracket when we're signing players. We're trying to go young. We're trying to build a certain profile. And like you said with Jorginho, you compare him to the way this Arsenal team plays. It's fast, it's energetic, it's dynamic. The ball's popping around, intensity. Jorginho, I agree with you. I think Jorginho is underrated by some, overrated by a few others as well.
Controller. Defensively, for me, he's one of them ones that pop up somehow. We say?
I think he's a stripper. I can't physically, he's a stripper. I think he like you said, he pops up and comes up with interceptions and last ditch. But I think bro, I'll never forget the clip of him getting outpaced by a referee. For me, that'll never leave my mind.
The thing about Jorginho is that he's weird because he pops up a lot in the interception kind of stats and stuff like that. But when you're actually watching him, he's easy to run by. He's easy. That's not his role. He's more kind of trying to control the game. So the one part I'll worry is how long is Partey's injury at the moment? Is Partey actually injured, or is he just what's the situation? Do you get where I'm coming from? I don't know about that. So is he slotting straight in with Xhaka? I don't know what that situation is saying, but I'm seeing people in the comments saying this is an Arteta signing. How can you understand? You guys are not understanding what I'm saying. If somebody is recommended, if Arteta rates the player, it's not about that. Arteta can rate the player. Same way Ten Hag rates Weghorst. But do you think I believe that Arteta's first choice was Jorginho or Ten Hag's
No,
first choice was Weghorst? No, I don't believe that. So that's what I'm talking about. Nobody's saying Edu came and said you have to take Jorginho and have it. And Arteta, I don't care about your decision. We're overruling you here. Nobody's saying that. What I'm saying is they obviously had one or two targets ahead of him, and they've ended up having to get a third choice pretty much in a way. You know what I mean? So that's where I understand. It's not Arteta signing. Yeah, if Arteta wants him, but it's lower down his list. You gotta have an A, B, C, D plan list.
of
And they've
course.
had to go down there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
One thing I want to say on this too, Stop Search says Jorginho's dual stats are better than Partey's, but of course, this is the thing with stats, right? Stats tell you some of the story, but you have to add context to it. Arsenal win the ball in the final third of the pitch through their pressing way more than Chelsea do. That's the reality. Like there is not a universe out there where Jorginho is a better defensive player than Partey, no matter what the stats say. And
Yeah,
then we also have
that's hype, man.
you have to add context to everything, right? And the Meg Nards here with his super chat, he's talking about Chelsea causing inflation, FFP legal case coming. We will talk about Chelsea as well. So if you were to give a grade to this Arsenal transfer window overall, you have Trossard, you have Jorginho, and you have the one Polish guy. Excuse me, guys, I did forget his name. Just I'm not familiar with him whatsoever. Jakob. I can't even find his name, but yeah, basically those three signings. What would you give their grade if you want to do it out of 10 or like A, B, C? What would you grade it?
I'll give A, B, C. I'll give it I think Trossard's a good addition. I actually do. Is Martinelli definitely better than Trossard? Yeah. I actually think Trossard's a good signing. So I'm gonna give it a B minus or C plus for the fact that it wasn't their first choices. I'm gonna give it a C plus.
I would agree with a C plus as well. Personally, I think. Look, I like all three. Again, the Polish guy I can't speak on. They're saying his name is Kiwior. I have no idea who he is. So fair enough if he ends up being a player. I like Trossard and Jorginho as players. Again, with Jorginho, I think some people underrate him severely. I think people also overrate his importance to each of the teams he plays for. But he is a good player, and he's better than what Lokonga was and what El Neni is. So that's a good backup there. But again, when you look at what they were aiming for and what they ended up with, for that reason, I agree with you. It's a C or a C plus in my opinion. We'll read the super chat as well. S says we finally have money, but Edu has a BBQ instead. We needed a midfielder last summer, left it to D-Day. Then same again this window. Edu has no plan. And TBG also says, I've been thinking about this signing all day, and I've concluded it's a good one. Yes, it's anticlimactic. The right system, J5 is a good player. That's
Like there was once upon a time where Jorginho is literally you have to play alongside Jorginho, whoever's in Chelsea's midfield, because he was holding down that number 6 position brilliantly. It'll either be Kovacic or either be Kante, and it's like Jorginho was the key player in that team to build up. Yes, probably fallen off over the last year a little bit, but I also think Chelsea are not doing the greatest as well. So you got to really see what that's about. I do agree with you that some people 1 second they're saying that like he's the oracle, and then next second he's the shittest. Yeah, I mean, there's no serious balance there with Chelsea and Jorginho. So look, we've seen that Jorginho can play at a certain level. How old is he? 31?
31.
Newcastle 2-0. Longstaff brace. What is going on here,
We'll
mate?
see you at Wembley, Newcastle.
Yeah, so you got to remember the guy can probably still play at a high level. So he's gonna be coming off the bench, probably see games out. Some games you're playing against. So what happens when Arsenal are playing against? I don't know. Arsenal are playing against not Fulham, because Fulham are actually a good team. Southampton at home. Yeah. Jorginho is a calm player to have on the pitch in them moments. Do you get where I'm coming from? He's not going to be a massive detriment in them situations. So it is just the fact that Arsenal right now are so hard to play against because they're high energy. They got the the physical players in the midfield. So it's just about, you will lose a lot of physicality when Jorginho is on the pitch. That's the only thing. So, but overall, I don't think it's as mad as signing. It's just the optics around it is crazy.
Definitely. We'll read the last super chat here. Olu says, I see the vision. J20 to come on and control wins. We'll see, man. We'll see how that ends up going. Who do you want to go on to next, Cam? Chelsea, obviously, who have basically written the story of the entire window in general. You have United. We can talk about two teams that didn't do too much either in terms of Liverpool and City. Where do you want to go next?
Yeah, let's go to Man United, man. Obviously, we didn't expect any business today, bruv.
Nah, none at all. I mean, look, that Eriksen news in the morning, I think, rocked the entire fan base because me and you, Cam, have been speaking about how big this next month is in terms of the amount of games they're playing, the amount of games they play every week, and how thin the squad is already. And Eriksen is the most used player by Erik ten Hag this season. No team, no player has played more under Erik ten Hag, I think, in the field anyways, than Christian Eriksen. So for him to go out, no matter what me and you think about his defensive capabilities, about his athleticism, he is important to this team. And then Erik ten Hag comes out in his press conference and says, look, deadline day, it's very tough finding a player that suits what you're looking for. I believe in the midfielders that we already have. It was concerning a little bit. I can't lie, bro. It was kind of sounding very puppetish. But lo and behold, they've come out of this deadline day signing Sabitzer, who I think we both agree on this is actually a good player, man. I was a big fan of him when he was at Leipzig. Obviously, he's went to Bayern with Nagelsmann going together at the same time, and he hasn't been able to replicate that and break into the team. But I think for what United needed to begin with, even with Eriksen's team, they needed someone with energy to him, with some bite to him, who could carry the ball. Also, of course, very technically good passer, has a goal in him. And Sabitzer kind of offers all of that. And this might be a controversial take, in my opinion, guys, but I think there's a reality where Marcel Sabitzer is actually an upgrade on Christian Eriksen. If he can rediscover his form at RB Leipzig, at Man United, I think that he's a better fit for this team than Christian Eriksen.
It's interesting because we're going to lose out on Eriksen's creativity because he's got 9 assists, I think it is, this season. So we definitely needed that side of things. But the thing about the Sabitzer signing, I like the Sabitzer signing because I rate Sabitzer. Do you know what I mean? I liked what he was like at Leipzig. It didn't work out at Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich have better midfielders. And Bayern Munich are a better team than Man United. Bayern Munich are in the Champions League looking to win that competition. Man United are in the Europa League and finished in our worst ever season for a reason. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So Sabitzer coming in, I'm impressed with him. I like the player. I'm not gonna, you know me, bro. I could have done this with Weghorst. I could have done this with Weghorst and act like it's an amazing signing when I don't think so. However, Sabitzer is somebody that I actually think is a good player. I rate. I like what he offers, the engine. He's got a good shot. He can tackle. He's much more mobile in that kind of midfield area, which can make us more difficult to play against. My only issue is we still need that creative side of things. If Bruno is not going to have an assist or whatever, Eriksen was sometimes given that through set pieces as well. True, say United have only scored 4 set pieces, but he was still offering something sometimes with the crosses, etc. So we do need Sabitzer to come and hit the ground running straight away. Bro, we're in the mix of everything. We're in the mix of everything. And he's the type of player, when I look at his attributes, his physique, his just his profile, it looks like he's someone that can come into the team and make an impact straight away. So I'm happy with the signing. People are going to try and make it out like if you're happy with it, you're just trying to do copium or whatever. But nah, that's not it for me. I actually like the signing still.
I mean, look, is it a panic signing? It absolutely is, guys. I was saying this is a signing that if you had offered me, even before Eriksen went down, I would have taken him. But the reality is United are only acting because a huge player in their team is out. But when you look at the alternatives that were being named today, Isco, Saul, Houssem Aouar, bro, I'm happy with Sabitzer. I'm genuinely not coping here whatsoever. I think it's the best situation we could have got from all of the names available. And I see someone here saying...
He's 28 years old. It's 28 years old, yeah. Bro. People are talking... this is the thing about football fans, yeah. You can't have a season off. You can't have a season where you're not at your best, or you go somewhere and it might not work out. You're finished. You're done. You're a rubbish player. You're done. You know what I mean? At 28 years old, because it didn't work out, because he couldn't get into the midfield of Kimmich, Goretzka, Musiala, Muller, and all them guys, he's done. He's washed, guys. That was years ago. He's finished. football fans move too quickly. Do you rate the player? Yes or no? Do you think he's a good player?
Thank you.
I do. So I'm willing to see what he can offer. There should be no reason why he's physically worse than before. There should be no reason why anything like that should take place. So do I rate the player? Yes. Did he have a bad time at Bayern Munich? Yes. Let's see what he can do at Manchester United. The way people are talking, he's 28, bro. He's 28. Don't talk like he's finished or something. You know what I mean? So
No, 100%. And look, the reality is, I remember when Bentancur got signed by Spurs, and this isn't just like to my own horn here because I've had a lot of bad shouts recently, but this is one that I got spot on. When Bentancur went to Spurs, I said I think Spurs are getting an excellent midfielder here, even though he wasn't that good at Juventus, especially the last 2 years. But you can see a player's quality, and I don't want to say one man's trash is another man's treasure, but for me, environment is. What you say?
Look at Aiden's comments. I told you guys. My phone rang. I told you, bro.
Look, I don't want to say one man's trash is another man's treasure, but I'm a big believer that environment is massive for a player, and that a player can be excellent in one atmosphere, not so great in another environment, and then go to a completely other third team and still be a good player. So I look at what United needs: energy, legs.
I guarantee you, bro.
Go ahead,
bro. I guarantee you, if Manchester United had signed Gravenberch, fans would have been hype.
Probably, yeah.
They would have been hype
because he's 21 or
Bayern Munich.
No.
There we go, bro. He's struggling himself. So people, it's just about, I don't know. I just, as I always say, just do you rate the guy? Yes or no? See, thank you, people. Thank you, people. I appreciate my sources. You know what I mean? When I talk, listen. I don't talk much, but when I talk, listen. I don't claim no ITK stuff. Just listen to when I talk. You know what I'm saying? Summer, we get to work.
Look, again, I can't basically stress it enough. And I see people here saying Sabitzer's engine will definitely be a big help, but he's not as progressive as Eriksen in possession. In terms of progressive passing, Sabitzer is quite a progressive passer. And I think the difference between him and Eriksen, he doesn't have the range of passing as Eriksen. Like, I think Eriksen's, you got a wand of a right foot, let's be real, but he can carry the ball forward. Eriksen, you never really got that from him. And paired with Bruno and Casemiro, there's basically no ball carrying in that midfield three. So I think Sabitzer gives you that. And then the other comment I wanted to read here is Yusuf says, Elias, are you a Pogba stand? The Eriksen slander sus. I don't get that, to be quite honest with you. I don't see the relationship between either of those players. But it's not slander towards Eriksen. I think Eriksen, for what he is and for how much we got him for, which is free, he's done a good job. But the reality is, guys, he's not a perfect player. We don't have to lie here and say that every single player suits that United needs. Otherwise, we'd be first in the league, 20 points out of everyone. He has his limitations. Defensively is a big one. And I think Sabitzer in that regard is better than is. And I still think he gives you enough on the ball to be considered, in my opinion, if he replicates what he did at Leipzig, a better player than current Eriksen. That's just my take on it.
Che Adams just grabbed a goal.
What is it? 4-2 on aggregate?
3-1.
But on aggregate, what was the score of the first leg?
1-0.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. Man, it looks like a good goal as well. Let me see this. Oh.
They say Newcastle ain't moving me. Wembley, we coming.
A little drilled. Listen. But yeah, man, listen, let's see. Are we trying to make any more moves? I'm getting loads of calls and texts, but I told people serious ones only. I want do not disturb. I've only got my 2 sources in my favorites. So if that rings, then something's happening. If not, then sorry guys, no good news for you lot. You know what I mean?
What you telling us about Awar? Any chance of Awar, Fabrizio Camano or whatever they're calling you?
Let me have a look.
Hey, let us know.
Let's see what's going on with Awar. Okay, yeah. So with Awar, they're saying, hold on. We had a chat with him. But it's hard to reach an agreement with Leon. You know what I mean? We're still talking into the final hours, but I'll be honest, it's not looking too pretty. But we'll see. Do you know what I mean? We'll see.
What's the kind of language Fabrizio does this? He's like, Man United have come in with an important bid. The player is very interested in the project, but it's very difficult at this hour to get the... He loves that vocab, bro. Hey, man,
we've had a chat, man.
So Man United's window results in Cristiano Ronaldo leaving the club, and Velvekhorst and and what's my man's name? So A, B, C, D. What you grading this transfer window for United?
C. That's a C, man. Like Sabitzer, I like the side of Sabitzer, but Weghorst, I still gotta see more. You know what I mean? I still gotta see more of what's gonna happen with that. But listen, if I walked into that window and said I want Sabitzer, Sabitzer I would have taken. I like him, to be fair. I'd have taken him in the summer, but Weghorst, I wouldn't have. But listen, I'm not against the guy. I hope he comes and does well, but let me keep it 100. That's C. And it's not even no perms either. No permanent signing, 3 loans. C.
I think you're even being generous, to be honest with you. I might go D. I would say if we had gotten Sabitzer and kept Eriksen healthy and had those two as midfield options on top of what we already have, then I think it would be a lot higher. But the fact is that we've basically replaced Ronaldo and Eriksen with Sabitzer and Weghorst. For me, it's not underwhelming, but it's just like meh for me. Again, I like Sabitzer. I like the potential there. But I don't think I can put that near the same level as Arsenal's, for example, who didn't lose anyone and they've only strengthened. For me, we haven't gone sideways, but we've barely graduated, in my opinion. So I would go C minus D.
We're just rectifying something that's happened, basically.
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's not really ambitious. It's not progressive. It's just, for me, it's reactive.
Yep, let's see, man. Let's see. But listen, both players have things to offer Man United. You know what I mean? They both have things to offer. They both suit the team in a way. You know what I mean? So hopefully they can both kick on. Ten Hag doesn't seem like a manager that cares too much about if you're a big name or not. He cares about, are you a profile that fits the club? Are you a profile that suits what I want to do? So it looks like he likes to identify players that way. So let's see, man. Let's see. It could be a masterstroke. It could be a masterstroke.
No, 100%. One thing with Ten Hag is he's shown that basically his targets usually tend to work out okay. Of course, there's the odd exception here or there, but usually when he identifies a player, they work out pretty well. I'm going to read out Felipe's super chat here. It says, big up to both of you for the quality shows. We're coming for you. This is a Newcastle fan. Enjoy Jim Ratcliffe takeover settings. At least you aren't Liverpool. They're dead. Do you want to go to Liverpool next? And thank you.
That? He's a Newcastle fan, yeah?
Yeah.
Say no more. We'll see you at Wembley, innit?
This is the first time, by the way, Pope has conceded a goal since November.
He's getting used to the feeling. You know, when Rashford comes to town, you know what happens. Yeah, cool. Get used to the feeling. Get used to the feeling. That's what I'm saying. But let's talk about Liverpool, man. Let's talk about Liverpool.
Before I even talk about the signings, I'm gonna give him an F, bro. I can't lie. I think I completely agree with what you said on stoppage, bro. It's a failure at every single level of this institution. We were watching a great institution fall to the ground. So for me, this is an F, bro. One signing all window in Cody Gakpo, who, look, again, I said I think there's a player there, but I didn't want him at United because for me, it's almost like we've looked at Gakpo and said, I like the idea of what he could become. I like his athleticism, his frame. He could be a really good number 9 in the future. But the reality is he isn't that at the moment. And for what he isn't on the left, I've never liked this profile of like tall, lanky, languid, not really explosive winger. He has a good strike on him. We haven't seen it much at Liverpool. And then you kind of look at what Liverpool have built their attacking identity on the last few years under Klopp with Mane, Salah, Jota, Diaz, Firmino. Gakpo for me is almost like completely in the other direction in terms of what Klopp usually likes from a forward. And then you look at Liverpool's midfield, which is just bleeding at this point through injuries, through lack of form, through decline. And they needed another body in that midfield, not just another body, but a good one. And that failure to strengthen there and instead go for a forward that, again, in my eyes, doesn't fit what they're going for me, it's an F. It's an F for Klopp. It's an F for the scouts, the board, the owners, the players. It's just a complete failure at every single level of Liverpool Football Club.
Bro, we gave them the...
Nah.
We gave them that, bro. Yeah, I mean, listen, look, I do think people are being very quick to want to call Gakpo a flop. Let me say that. But it's not looking good right now for him. It's not looking good right now for him or for Liverpool. We've already spoken about Liverpool as a club this season. its peak, and I see nowhere where this inspiration of mad form is going to come from Liverpool. I even heard Konate's injured now.
Yeah,
Konate's injured as
he's gonna
well.
miss the
So
first leg against Real Madrid.
I have no idea where Liverpool are going to get inspiration from, because Klopp looks out of inspiration. He doesn't look motivated to get these guys going at the moment. And it kind of feels like Liverpool are just sitting there saying, all right, when we get owners. Bro, Man United need owners, and we're getting on with it though. Ten Hag looks damn motivated. You know what I mean? We look motivated, but when you're looking at Liverpool, I don't know, bro. They needed midfielders. They didn't sign one. So I agree with your grade, bro. They needed midfielders. They didn't get one. They brought in Gakpo. Who has he scored yet?
No.
0 goals so far. So, and he was the first. He was signed before January.
Yeah.
He's had the whole month. We gave you a head start, and you still Weghorst scored first. We gave you a whole 20 days head start, brother.
We signed the best Dutch forward this whole window, bro.
So you look at that, the fact that he's not scored, he's not done nothing, he's not made an impact, he's not done anything, and then you look at the fact that Liverpool need a centre mid. They didn't strengthen on that situation. It's just a poor all round for Liverpool, bro. All round, and their fans must be fuming watching everyone make moves as well, because sometimes fans just say, I'm seeing City fans moving like, where's Alson? I'm like, you lot, chill out. So you got FOMO right now. That's all it is. You got FOMO. You got the feeling of missing out. That's all it is. But Liverpool genuinely should be one of the most active in the market at the moment. You know what I mean? And if for Klopp to use that money that could have been used on probably the most important part of the pitch that they need, on a wide forward, on a random last, like, just popped up from nowhere and took him after the World Cup. It's bad transfer strategy. It looks like bad transfer strategy at this current moment. We're only judging it for January transfer window, and at this current moment, as we're doing this video, it's not looking good at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? So all of them Liverpool fans, they can just sit down this season. They just got to hold that, bro. They just got to hold that. I wonder if Grizz's phone is ringing right now. Grizz Khan, is his phone ringing? I don't think it is, bro. I don't think his phone is ringing, bro. So listen, it's pretty crazy for Liverpool, and they just got to hold it. And it's a long season, bro. It's a long season for them. Very, very long. That Brighton defeat.
And bro, here's the thing about Liverpool too, right? If I'm looking around the league right now, I see United on the rise. I see Arsenal on the rise. I see Newcastle on the rise with a lot of money behind them. I see Chelsea definitely on the rise. I see City, no matter what, they're going to be up there. And I see Liverpool, who have, I don't know if it's true, but the oldest squad in the league, if not the oldest, easily top 3, a squad that's declining, a squad that even their young players for me aren't basically giving me the impression that they're going to go on to be world beaters, potential Premier League winners. Maybe I'm wrong there, but I haven't got that impression yet. Mm-hmm. And you have a manager who almost seems just content with where he's at, bro. He's coming out in press conferences saying, I'm happy with my players. And of course, he's not going to throw them under the bus. He's not going to say they're all garbage and I need 10 new players. But he almost seems content with his situation. I keep going back to that 7-year stat, bro. The problem with Klopp is he almost just becomes complacent and stays loyal to these guys that 5 years ago were winning him Premier League titles. 5 years ago were winning him Champions Leagues. But at this current moment in time, Milner's not cutting it for you anymore. Fabinho's not cutting it for you anymore. Henderson, Matip, etc., etc. If I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm very worried that my club's getting left behind for 4 or 5 teams that are clearly on the rise, clearly willing to spend a lot of money, and clearly have younger, brighter managers, more progressive ideas. I think that's another thing too of Klopp. I know it's a transfer show, but tactically, I've always said I think he's not as flexible as other managers. And you're seeing game after game, he's getting schooled by these guys. So I'm a Liverpool fan. This window is concerning. I think going forward as well, I'm majorly concerned that this team could be left behind by these other teams. And we're looking at 2010s, the early 2000s again, all over for Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, look, why should we be surprised, really? Liverpool, they won the league once. They didn't dominate the league. Obviously, they were in title races, but they didn't win multiple trophies and multiple. I'm seeing a lot of fans say, like, this is the, when you keep going back to back and competing. I'm like, yeah, you were competing, but you weren't winning. Like, Man City can use that excuse, but Liverpool maybe not back to the extent of the early 2010s where they were like so poor. But
Roy
in
Hodgson.
terms of, what you say?
I said Roy Hodgson days.
Yeah, nah, not that far. But in terms of being like, well, yes, they're going to be dragged back into the mix. Absolutely. They're back into the mix of it. You know what I mean? Now it's up to who else is going to grab that? Are Arsenal going to go again next season, or is somebody else going to grab it? Is somebody actually going to say, listen, City, maybe it's not even your time yet. It's not your time now. So we got to see. But in terms of Liverpool being that it's us and City again, nah, that ain't happening, bro. And even if they get the money, which I think they probably will eventually, I don't even think it's a surefire thing for Liverpool, bro. I'll be honest, bro. I don't really think it's a surefire thing. I know he's obsessed with Jude Bellingham. Klopp. Is Jude Bellingham gonna go there right now? Who knows? We'll see. And even if
God
he
no.
does, and
Even if even if you wanted to, can they? Do you hear what I said? Hold
no,
up. I said even if you want to go, can they even?
can they afford him?
Yeah.
I mean, even if they can afford him, can he change? Does he transform the club?
No.
Do you know what I mean? Does he try? He doesn't transform the club. He comes in, he helps. He's a young player, bro. He's a young player. So he's all this like, oh, it's all Jude Bellingham or bust. But you're gonna still keep Thiago there, who's not hitting the heights at the moment. Fabinho, who's not hitting the heights. Hendo, Milner. What's the situation with all these guys? Liverpool are gonna need a proper rebuild. So and rebuilds, we know nowadays be code word for off seasons. That's what a rebuild are. You know what I mean? So I ain't worried about Liverpool, man. I'll be honest, but I think they will get the money, and we'll see what happens. But
Mm.
Liverpool they are back into the mix. They are dragged into the mix, and welcome to this world, man. Do you know what I mean? Welcome to this world, bro.
These
Was
guys are
that
telling
Saeed
me.
in the cut? Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are telling me KFC Wi-Fi. So what I'm about to do is just reload this thing real quick. Do you want to take over for a second? Take some
Yeah,
questions or
yeah. I'm
whatever.
gonna Saeed. If that's the real Saeed, I'm gonna send you a link.
Yeah, get him through. I'll be right back.
Damn, it's about time we got that guy out of here, man. Flip it now, people. This guy, he can talk, innit? He thinks people. He thinks I'm not gonna mention that Cancelo thing. He thinks I'm waiting. Don't worry, I've been seeing the comments, man. I'm waiting on that. I ain't forgot that. You guys should know by now. I don't forget these type of things. His time is coming. I'm gonna send that over. His time is coming 110% about what's not to like. Hype. What? There's been some other transfers, that I've liked, some other transfers. Did you guys see Lokonga went to Crystal Palace? That's a good one. The Southampton transfers as well. Sulemina, and they've got the Nigerian striker from Genk as well. Is that complete? If so, that's some good signings, bro. That's actually some good signings. They actually need those type of players. They're trying to stay up. It's actually going to be a proper. Now we're going to talk about it with Liez as well, but this is going to be a proper relegation battle. Relegation battle. People are talking about Everton. People say, but do you know who's going under the radar? But Bournemouth are going down, bro. Bournemouth. Let me check where they are on the table. Premier League. Okay, yeah. So Bournemouth are 18th. Guarantee you, Bournemouth finish last. Guaranteed, Bournemouth finish 20th, bro. People seem to be forgetting about them when they're talking about all these relegation teams. If that's Saeed, I'm going to send it to Saeed. Tell Saeed to check his Twitter. Saeed said he has 15 minutes. Yeah, jump in. Let's hear your thoughts on Sabitzer. Of course. I don't think I can pin people's chats up in here because Liez is on the FTBL account, but I definitely listen. If Sean Dyche does not keep Everton up, you guys can choose the forfeit. I am so confident Sean Dyche is keeping. I can put my house on it. 100% Sean Dyche keeping them up. People need to put respect on his name, man. Let's put some respect on him.
Yes,
Man,
sir.
like,
Yes. What are you telling
man,
me?
like, what you saying? I ain't done a stream with you in time.
Bro, time, man. It's been too long, man. It's been too long,
been
man. But
time, bro. You know that.
yeah, man. We active, man. We active. But yeah, man. Listen, lad. Sabitzer. You know what's mad, yeah? Ten Hag has played us all, man. Because this guy in the press conferences was saying, oh, nothing's going to happen if it fits our profile. And then all of a sudden, Sabitzer comes out of nowhere, which is like, for me, it's a perfect signing because it's something that we need. He's a technical player. I don't really fall for the fact that he hasn't played enough minutes, so should we be worried? You know what I mean? Sometimes you're not in favor of the manager. Sometimes you haven't, you know what I mean? It's not what he kind of wants. But for me, I'm very happy with his signing, bro. I can't lie to you. And I think, you know what? What Eriksen gives us and what Eriksen doesn't give us, Sabitzer gives us a little bit more. And I think that's what we needed anyway. Donny van de Beek's out for the season. We need a Sabitzer with Christian Eriksen. So I'm more than happy, man. And like I said, the manager called him and said, yo, I want you to come here. So you got to trust the manager, bro. And like I said, it's something that we need. We need a bit of something in that midfield, box to box. He can do a bit more than Eriksen. So I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think it's good signing, bro. I don't know what you guys have said so far.
Yeah, I know. We basically like kind of echoed that. And the thing is, what I think about that signing as well is that, bro, as long as obviously you have to pray on the fitness, but whoever plays alongside Casemiro, they play better. They play better. Fred plays better. Eriksen plays better. McTominay plays better, but it's still not good enough. It's not good enough, but they still play better. So it's a bit okay. He had a struggle moment at Bayern Munich. Maybe didn't find his way in environments and stuff. But he's coming in here playing alongside Casemiro. I expect you to get to your best level alongside Casemiro. So that's why I'm not too worried about this signing. And as I said, he looks like he's physically ready to play in the Premier League. His profile suits the Premier League already. He played in that high pressing system with Leipzig. He's even played on the wing. He used to play on the wing, right wing, left wing, centre mid, 10, DM.
He's played right wing back sometimes, bro.
Yeah,
bro, that's what I'm saying. You said it before today.
Yeah.
Owen Hargreaves, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, innit?
He's guy.
Exactly. Owen Hargreaves said he was a sensational player. Injuries kind of ravaged his career, but we got a lot out of him considering he's only here for a couple of years. So I can't lie. The fact that he is multidimensional, I think it gives us a lot more. And I think ultimately he has, to be fair, he has played a lot of games. I spoke to Aaron. He has played a lot of games for what everyone says he's been out of the team. He has played a lot of games. So I can't lie to you, man. I think it's a good sign. And I think it just gives us a bit of life now. I was not going to lie to you. When I seen that Eriksen, it was a bit deflated. I was like, oh, man, I know. I trust Ten Hag. But then I'm like, bro, I know the league better than Ten Hag. I know it's a lot of games and you just can't keep it. I know. I'm not trying to be funny here, but
you know the league, yeah?
Yeah, I know the league. I see what happens. And this is not me trying to, talk down on Ten Hag, but we know the league, innit? Like, we know how tough it gets. And he was talking about Fred and Casemiro, Brazil, and I was like, Ten Hag, you're not moving me, man. You're not don't give me that. Like, you can do that to the media, but listen, man to man, that ain't gonna happen with me. So I just think for me, it's what we need. And like I said, Ten Hag, do not believe what he says to the media. He says one thing to the media, but behind the scenes, he's like, yo, if Sabitzer is available, go and get him. You know what I mean? And
thank you. And that's why I don't understand. I was gonna say, people in our group chat earlier, Cam, we're talking about, oh, this is where we need Antonio Conte, who basically goes into the press conferences and just digs out the board and stuff like that. Like, yo, if you guys trust Ten Hag, trust that he has the club and the team's best interests at heart. He's not an idiot. He doesn't want to go into the next 6 months with McTominay, Fred, Bruno, and Casemiro as his only options, guys. He wants good players.
Man.
So, yeah,
he knows McTominay can't give him.
Sabitzer was Leipzig captain.
Yeah,
as well, right? So that's bringing in somebody that's got a bit of leadership about him as well. So it's important to get those figures into the club, man. You look at Arsenal; they have a few captains in their team, bro. They got Xhaka, they got Zinchenko, who's the captain of his country, Odegaard, who's the captain of his country. Like they've got some players in there that actually know how to lead. So it's important to have that in our team as well. So
it's a good addition. I think. Yeah. No, I think, you know what? Ten Hag, like I said, when I watch him on the touchline, yes, you can micromanage, but sometimes you need players to just do their jobs. Like, you have a certain kind of setup. Like, I look at Arsenal now, they don't need micromanaging. They know what they're doing. And I feel like now, with Sabitzer, he'll tell him, this is your role, and do it. Whereas McTominay and Fred, you might have to tell him, yo, brother, don't go too far, don't do this, and keep it simple. Whereas Sabitzer, you know your job, do it now. And I like that because we've not had that in a while. Like, players can just do their job without having been babysat. And I think sometimes you need that. And leadership, like you said, you know what I mean? And that's a good quality. So, it's something we need, man. You don't beat Austrian captain, you know what I mean, for no reason, man. Like I said, they've got good midfielders in there. You know what I mean?
So
So
I think Leipzig captain.
I think Alaba is Austrian.
Alaba's Austria.
Alaba's Austrian captain. Okay.
He was the Leipzig captain. He was before he went.
Yeah, the Leipzig captain. So there you go, man. So someone said that Leipzig's Sabitzer is levels on Eriksen. I just think we just enjoy them both. Like Eriksen gives us what Eriksen.
Do you remember when we played Leipzig in 2020?
Bro,
he cooked us.
He was good, bro. He was bored. So let's see, man. Let's see. But people are gonna say, "Oh, if you talk about it, you're excited, and now you're saying we're gonna win the league." And so that's how people are gonna take this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, you know what, man?
Saeed, we're the Man United, the only club who are not allowed to say anything about anything, bro.
You see me on the Big Six, innit? Do you see what they put me through? Them, man, let me tell you something about the Big Six here. Like, I've been through pain on that Big Six for 3 years. Anytime I get excited, Skullfroggery, clip him. Bro, let me just be happy, man. Like, Man United's got us to where we're playing. And, you know what I mean? We're enjoying it. And now, the rivals, like, you see Liverpool crumbling. You see Chelsea, you know what I mean, doing what they're doing. But United, at least now, we're in a direction now. They can't handle it because Man United have been mismanaged for the last so many years. And we're not saying it's fully over. But what we're trying to say is we've got a manager now who can control the board and control, like, say, yo, bro, I want this and I want this. So let's do this. So, yeah, man, I just think for me, it's good times. And let's see now if it can kick us on. I still think it's going to be a tough end to the season. But, let's see what the manager can do in it.
And what do you think about Chelsea's movement then? Because I know you mentioned them. What do you think about what's going on at Chelsea?
Bro, I just hope this Enzo Fernandez deal doesn't go through, man, because I'm a big fan of Enzo Fernandez.
Same.
I swear, man. He's the one for me that would kind of come in that midfield United next summer and just revolutionize it. But listen, money talks, man. And what they're doing is basically, I've said it on a tweet before, like, they're not going to get top four. So now they're just basically getting the players that would have got them top four if they had the money. So I just think for me, they're pricing out the market. They're doing what they have to do. And Todd Bowley's just a madman. That's all it is, bro. He's just come in and just said, you know what? I want this player. I want that player. And he's just basically got it. And he's got so much money to spend. Personally, I'm not going to lie to you. I think a lot of it is dodgy, if I'm being really honest with you. And I think we will find out. But for me, they're doing what they have to do in it. They're not going to be in the Champions League next year, personally for me. Because you have to manage the squad. And Graham Potter, I don't know how he's going to manage that. But they've got to do what they've got to do. But I just think it's crazy. And they're basically just kind of getting the market and while they can. Because I'm looking at the midfield now next summer thinking, bloody hell, mate, what's going on?
Say that's the perfect point I want to go to, honestly, because I've kind of talked to Cam about this myself, but I almost see this next summer as almost a dogfight between Arsenal, Chelsea, United, and Liverpool, all fighting for like a pool of 4 to 5 midfielders. They're all going to want the same ones. Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, unless some miracle happens the last hour or two of this window, Declan Rice, potentially Jude Bellingham. Maybe he goes to Real Madrid. I think even Ruben Neves will be in that conversation. I think Yuri Tielemans will be a free agent, and I think big clubs will still want him. It's going to be a dogfight between 4 or 5 clubs, all aiming for the same target. It's going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah, 100%. I think literally that's what it is now. And because now, have you noticed, like, the top 4 battles become almost like a Premier League trophy? And obviously to get into that top 4 now, you're going to have to go and get the players. So if you don't get the players, it's almost if you're not going to get that top 4 because say now you miss out on, I don't know, let's say Jude Bellingham. That could be the difference between them finishing above you. So you have to go and fight for the same players. And you've got Newcastle in the midst of this now. Yeah, like Newcastle, they've not really spent. Let's be real. So when they get the Champions League football next summer, bro, they're going to go in for the same players that we're going to go in for. Because it's Champions League football. Yes, we have pedigree, but they've also got a project that they're working towards. So, bro, now it's all about pre-agreements. This summer will be about, if you could get a pre-agreement, let's say June, bang, pre-agreement, go and get him. It's not a case of negotiate. Because if you negotiate, Hijack's going to come in. That player's going to go get flirting elsewhere. You've got to get that pre-agreement. It's almost like getting a deposit. You know when you put a deposit in the house? Yeah,
it's the fact.
You know what I mean? Put a deposit on and say, yo, brother, come to me and, you know what I mean, we'll sort everything out for you. That's what you got to do now.
I'm with you.
You see, the secret scout on Twitter just tweeted, my source has just told me Enzo Fernandez deal is done. He's on his way to Chelsea. More
secret scout hype, bro. If it ain't Fab, but if it ain't Ornstein, I ain't trying to hear none of that.
Yeah, man. I can't lie to you, man. I need Ornstein, man. I need Ornstein because, yeah, these secret scouts, man, there's a lot of them online, man. And like I said, now everyone's got a blue tick, so I don't know who to focus now on. Everybody's got a blue tick. So I'm like, who's this guy? Almeida, is he all right? Let me see what Tatum. And I realize, nah, not really. You get me? So there's a lot of them out there, these ITKs. So we just gotta be seeing what's going on.
100%, 100%. I've looked at this Chelsea though. The next 6 months for them is almost like it's like an extended preseason, right? Basically, Graham Potter is going to be tasked with gelling all of these new players that he's signed. Again, potentially Enzo on top of that, alongside Madueke, Felix, Badia Shield. They have so many new players.
Results, though, bro. There seems to be this. Like this consensus that they're allowed to just coast this season. Chelsea are allowed to. Oh, yeah, our season doesn't start now. That no, bro. They need to start winning games from now. I don't get where this expectation that Potter and Chelsea are allowed to just do what they want. Oh, if we want Europe, we'll get Europe. We don't. No, they need to go and get results, bro. So this season is. I don't know if Chelsea fans think they're just gonna get an easy ride and no one's gonna talk about their club. Everyone's gonna be talking. Let's remember, Felix is there on a loan at the moment. Felix is not a pump. So Felix, you're gonna want to get results with Felix right now, aren't you? You're not gonna just we're just coasting. Oh, Felix, just have fun out there. Everyone go and have fun. That's not the case.
It's mad how I forgot about Felix, but it's mad how we've all just forgotten about Felix.
He played one game since he came.
You know what I mean? One game, red card, and it's like, but now you make a good point. I think for me, it's almost as if like, there's no expectation for Chelsea now, bro. We need to see some sort of, chemistry with this team. You know what I mean? We need to see results. Can't just be a case of one winning 3 or one winning, how many? And it's like, okay, but they're still rebuilding and whatnot. We need to see something because this
Champions League. They need to put a Champions League run down. Listen, in the Champions League, it's a cup game. It's a cup competition. You know what I mean? It's knockout round. It's knockout football. You know what I mean? You win one leg, you win whatever. It's knockout football. It's not like a league where you have to put 19 games of form in a row or whatever. Anything can happen in the Champions League. We've seen it with Di Matteo. We've seen it with Tuchel. Bro, they've just got this influx of money. They've got all of this.
But here's the thing, Cam. They can only register, I believe it's 3 or 4 of these new signings for the Champions League, bro. There's a good amount of them that aren't going to be eligible to play, and that's without even Enzo Fernandez coming on top of that. Yeah, they're not allowed to register all 7 of these players for their Champions League.
One of them they got to keep Badiashile because I think
they have to. Yeah,
they probably won't register. Not Noni, Madueke. They won't register.
No, Madueke they won't. That Andre Santos guy they won't register.
Yeah.
But still, they've made 5 big signings in terms of Mudryk, João Felix, Badiashile, potentially Enzo. If it's only 3 of them, if that's what I remember correctly, one of those guys can't play Champions League this year.
Yeah. So
people are saying Enzo. People are saying Enzo's happening because Fabrizio said, "I just got a big update," and he's gone silent.
Yeah, but y'all know how Fabrizio is too, bro. It's definitely going to be Andre Ayew has officially arrived at Everton's.
Yeah, exactly. It's mad. But listen, man, I've got to shoot to my stream. But man. Make sure you like the video, man. Subscribe to the channel, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
Say that, man.
Appreciate you.
But let's get into Man City, man. They didn't make any business as well. I'm seeing their fans complaining. I'm seeing them linked with Maddison now, Rafael Leao, all of this type of stuff. And obviously they've made a sale as well.
It's not a sale, it's a loan. It's a loan.
They made a loan. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's get into that loan first, bro. Yeah, you hide. What's not to like? Hype. What did you do to my man, bro? What did you do to him? Because ever since you mentioned his name, and ever since I don't know what gave you the confidence to go on like you're the Cancelo whisperer. You're not the Cancelo whisperer. You got a little bit excited, talking about, you know what? And what was the thing that you said at the end? You said Reece James, Trent. He's better than all. I was like,
I know that's the worst bit. But here's the problem: Reece James has been injured the whole year, and Trent has been garbage too. But no one wants to talk about that.
Bro, you thought you came into the booth and was dropping a cipher or something. Do you know what I mean? Where the video ended in the TikTok as well. If it went well, you would have looked hard. You would have looked cold. But the fact that it went the other way, I'm very, 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 very. It's funny, bro, but I'm not happy because those were my possessions. You get me? Those were my possessions. You tried to come in, get involved, and then you just ruined him. But listen, we'll talk about the move. But you know what I mean? A lot of people want you to answer your sins for what happened to Cancelo, man. What did you do to him, bro?
Nah, I've been confessing my sins the last 24 hours, bro. To be honest with you, everyone's been. I told SDS this yesterday when I was on there. I told them I think I got more mentions than Cancelo did yesterday, bro. The minute the news broke, they're tagging me, and it's crazy, right? Since I made that video, the very next game after that was against Liverpool, where he had that miscontrol, and then Salah went on to go and score the winner. I don't think, guys, João Cancelo has put more than a 7 out of 10 game since I made that video. And it's been about 3 months now. It was garbage in the World Cup and has been garbage for City since. And now he's ended up at Bayern Munich. So look, I don't know if I got a curse or it's a jinx or maybe it's a blessing. Maybe I've just ended Manchester City's title charge. But whatever it is, bro, João Cancelo, I'm sorry for ruining your Manchester City career. I wish you great luck at Bayern Munich now. Look, if anything, I just got him a bigger move. I just got him career progression right now.
Yeah, you didn't get him nothing. You didn't get him nothing. I had to have an internal
You're
meeting.
welcome, bro. Honestly, I got you anytime you need, bro. If anyone else needs career progression, I'll hype you up whenever you need to.
He called me. Cancelo called me.
Yeah. What's he sound like? What did he say?
He said, hey, Cameron. I said, yo. I said, well on, bro. I said, you good? I said, what's good, man? What's going on? Your form, I ain't been impressed with what's going on at the moment. He said, listen, Pep is annoying me. I don't want to play this robotic football. You know, I'm a freestyler. I like to do what I want to do. He likes teachers' pets. I'm not a teacher's pet. I'm a real one. I said, you know what? You're showing me a lot of real men tendencies right now. All right, cool. Let me get on the phone. I called up Bayern Munich.
Cancelo is real men now.
Bro, it's telling Pep to stick it where the sun don't shine. Yeah, damn right. You're not
real men. You're not real men for being a baby because you're out of form and a kid displaces you, bro. That's not real men. That's childish behavior right there.
Anyone that runs away from Pep, I respect massively. Get away from that guy. If you like yourself, get away from that guy.
Pep elevated him to a level that he's never touched before and will probably never touch again. I ain't trying to hear this, actually.
He was miserable.
This is not real men behavior. Bro, this is what little kids do when they don't get their way. They go crying to mommy and daddy, go get me a new toy or some shit like that.
He was miserable playing under Pep. You know what I mean? Look at Foden's face, bro. Foden looks miserable, bro. Even though they're winning games.
Foden and João Cancelo are not the same. It's not the same thing.
I ain't seen KDB pop a smile in about 6-7 months. He looks miserable. He looks miserable. It's not, I'm telling you, it's not long before Erling Haaland gets onto Pep too, bro. That guy's got a little bit of a screw loose too. Trust me. But anyway, moving to a bigger club. People are talking like Cancelo took an L. He moved to a bigger club. He moved to a club that probably has more chance of winning the Champions League. Because if we're going by history, I haven't seen City win the Champions League. Have you?
Nah, not off recently.
No, I haven't. There we go. So Cancelo, his life is good, bro. Don't worry about him, and we're gonna restore our form back in Germany, bro. You know what I mean? And then in the summer, you might want to come to the red side of Manchester. Who knows?
Is that what you're on right now?
I don't want guys that just needs to see what's Luke Shaw saying. Has he recovered since Saka?
Don't make this about Luke Shaw, bro. This is about João Cancelo and Manchester City. We ain't talking about Luke Shaw today.
I haven't seen Luke Shaw since Saka cooked him, bro. Where is he?
He's been ill. Maybe he was ill during that game. Maybe that's the reason for why he got cooked. Let us rest up, man.
Were you the one cooking for him?
Don't make this about Luke Shaw, man. It's about João Cancelo. Stay on topic, please. But now, look, hold up. This is what I have to say about Cancelo. I disagree. I don't know how much of it is like banter or real from you, but I look at what Pep did with João Cancelo, and I respect it a lot, to be honest with you. Because this is something Fergie would do, in my opinion. Bro, you cannot be coming out, especially in the form that João Cancelo has been in. Again, since I made that video, obviously no relation to that. But since that video, he's been in horrible form. No player, and I said this about Ronaldo, I'll say it about João Cancelo. No player has a God-given right to start football games, bro. And Rico Lewis has come into this Manchester City team, and no, he's not a better player than Cancelo is, but he's performed better. He's added that hunger. He's added that drive, that intensity to which Manchester City have been missing almost the entire season. Why does Cancelo feel that just because he's had a great last 2 seasons, no matter how he's playing, he deserves to be starting? And then even more so than that, he goes into the training ground and tries to start a fight with Pep Guardiola, the manager. Allow that, bro. You got to go, man. That you cannot have that kind of toxicity around your dressing room, bro. It can't happen. Fergie showed it that you got a rule of an iron fist. So what Pep did, people might call me a Pepite for this. I think he did the right thing, bro.
Bro. They're saying Gundogan, Bernardo Silva. They're saying Foden. Was it Kyle Walker? Is it Cancelo? Bear man are unhappy at the club, bro. Bear man are unhappy at the club.
How much do you give them, man?
Pep
How
doesn't
much?
know
How
any of
much
these
do you
guys.
credit this though, Cam? And someone said this like 2 seasons ago. I thought he was crazy at the time, but I think about it now. When you have a team with so much world-class talent in every single position, and in some positions 2 times over, when you're winning, right, it's great because everyone likes to win. Winning cures all, in my opinion. But when you're not winning, and then when you're not playing, that's really when the agitation starts to come in. So
Mhm.
do you think this was always bound to happen once Man City stopped winning, that there's just too much overload of talent? It's like talent hogging in every single position.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Listen, maybe, but you got when you're winning, nobody complains. You know what I
Right.
mean? When you're winning, nobody complains. Life is good when you're winning. You know what I mean? So obviously, when it's not, but listen, there's been talks. Pep has spoken about Cancelo's character before. If you check what Pep's quotes were about Cancelo's first season at the club, they had loads of head to heads, bro. No, I don't know about physical head to heads, but I'm talking about they bumped heads in terms of how they see each other, how they see his role in the team. So clearly, Cancelo's got that type of personality that he's fiery. He'll say what he thinks is on his mind, and maybe now because he's getting benched, it rubbed Pep up the wrong way, and now it's time to go. But listen, I've said it all my life. These type of characters, Pep doesn't like these type of characters, bro. He likes teachers' pets. He likes Pepites. You know what I'm trying to say?
True. True.
He changes you into a Pepite, and that's
But
it. You know what I mean? So
but this is
the real
Fergie.
character,
Fergie also likes teachers' pets too, bro. That's where for me I disagree.
but Fergie loved real
Fergie
men.
rolled with okay. Of course, you have your Mavericks like a Cantona, and you have a
There
Ronaldo,
we
but
go.
that's like
They
the
ain't
top.
surviving under Pep. They ain't surviving under Pep. Let me tell you that. They are not surviving.
I don't know,
Pep
bro. You had
Pep
Ribery, who was
likes your
similar.
Iniestas and that. He likes your Iniestas and
Nah,
them
of course,
little
but you tell me
teachers pets.
Fergie doesn't like his John O'Shea's and his Wes Browns and his Darren Fletchers, who teachers' pets.
Body on the line type of players. You know what I'm trying to say?
He likes his
When
body on the line players too. Pep
even
likes his
though
body on the line players too. That's why Cancelo's not playing.
Rico Lewis?
He's putting his body on the line more than João Cancelo, bro.
He likes
All I'm gonna
nerds,
say.
man. He likes little nerds, bro. That's all it is. So it is what it is, man. Cancelo, go and have a good career, bro.
We'll see what he does at Bayern, to be honest with you, because they've kind of had like a fullback catastrophe themselves too. I mean, Pavard, I think, is injured, and he's actually being rumored to go to Barcelona, which for me is just the most Barcelona signing ever, signing Benjamin Pavard. They signed Daley Blind earlier in the window as well for backup cover at left back. Now they have Cancelo. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. I keep saying that you look at the top elite teams in Europe, and they all seem to be really out of form at this moment, kind of paving the way for perhaps a shock in the Champions League. But this is a big acquisition for them, bro. João Cancelo, regardless of the poor form he's in, is still he's still a top fullback on his day. So we'll see how we can improve him.
Somebody said Ribery was a maverick.
That's why I said Ribery too.
Go and check Ribery's thoughts on Pep.
I'll tell you Ribery's thoughts on Pep. I'm pretty sure he said he loved working under him. I'll look it up right now.
Show me.
You know what? Actually, I can't find the quotes.
Bro, these man don't vibe with Pep, man. It's a fact.
You know what? Sorry, I think Ribery loved Ancelotti. I think that's what he said. But then go see who he had more success under. Go see who he won more under. Go see who had more success under.
We're just talking about the personalities. Ribery straight up. Let me say it. Look, Ribery attacks Pep Guardiola's time as Bayern Munich coach. Sometimes he talked too much. Ribery just won't stop criticizing Pep Guardiola. Bro, he even said Pep Guardiola's system is weird. Bro, the guy he don't vibe with him, bro.
They don't have to vibe, bro. The guy's a serial winner, bro. The guy's a serial winner. And if you're not willing to adjust, off you pop, bro. Cancelo, you were a good dude. I'm not sure you're in the university yet. You're not in the university yet, but boy, you got to show me something at Bayern. Otherwise, you might be our newest student, bro. I can't lie.
Hey, real ones, Etos, Zlatans, the real ones. They know what's up, man. But listen, Pep, your time's coming soon, man. Your time's coming soon. Your time's coming soon. It is what it is. But yeah, City didn't make any activity. What do you think about them being linked with Maddison and Rafael Leao?
I think it's very interesting. Like I keep telling you, I think this City team, although Pep deserves criticism for building it, like he's not blame proof for these signings and the way his team is constructed. This is not a Pep Guardiola team for me. It's like the least Pep team I've ever seen in my life in terms of the lack of dynamism on the wings. And the biggest one is that, in my opinion. So when I see signings like, or potential signings like Leao, for example, or Kvaratskhelia or Mitoma, those are for me signings that elevate Manchester City. That's what I think, of the best Pep teams ever. The Bayern with the Ribéry and Robin, Barca with Messi and Pedro, City with Sterling and Sané. They need to get to that kind of mold. So I'm not surprised to see guys like Leao linked to the club. Maddison would be an interesting one because I feel already with Grealish and with Foden, although they don't play the exact same position, I feel like they also take up the same areas in the pitch. So I feel like that would kind of be another signing, in my opinion, that City just don't need. And it's almost like they're just taking advantage of the English market. So I don't know about that one, but the Leaos, the Mitomas, the Kvaratskhelia, I think that's the direction they have to go back into.
I don't want any of them guys playing for Man City because those are actually exciting football players. No, they're actually exciting. I'm just talking about as a football fan. They're actually exciting players. I can't be bothered to be seeing them, you know what I mean, having to be pass first type of football players, you know what I mean?
So you like Leao now?
Matoma, the way people are talking. No, he's okay. Well, I saw he was on the bench the other day when they got cooked. What's going on?
Milan are having a crisis over there, but I can't lie. Hernandez is looking even worse these days.
Well,
another one of your boys, by the way.
Wait, hold on. Is Leao not rising them up now?
He's a former Serie A player of the year. He rose enough already last year, bro.
Wait, what is going on? Why is Leao not rising them? I'm confused.
We'll talk about that another day, bro. We'll talk about Milan another day.
Oh shit, they got cooked 4-0.
Milan are in fifth right now,
3-0, 2-2 draw. Let's see how doing in these games. Did he contribute in these games?
Oh my god.
Let me see. Let's have a look. So his last goal was against this team in the 14th of January, 2-2. So the big game against Inter, he didn't rise. Lazio, big game, he didn't rise. Sassuolo, he didn't rise. Big games. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You're a troll. Enough. You're a vile troll, bro.
I'm just checking, bro. What they've got Inter Milan away, or Inter Milan next 5th of Feb. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. And then they got the Champions League ties against Tottenham. Definitely, I'll be locked in. I'll be tuned into those games.
They must rise against Spurs because that's two stinky teams right there. Must rise.
Listen. Kvara, Matoma, them type of players, man. I don't want to see them turning into pass first players. That's what I'm saying. That's what I hope. I just don't want to see in it. Pass first
players, bro. Hold on. If you tell me you don't want to see them become like tap-in merchants, okay, I understand. But City don't make you a pass first player. If anything, they just limit the amount of touches that you take.
Pass first, man. The guy says that he plays Jack Grealish there because he likes.
That's a Grealish issue. That's you got to get your orders in check with Jack Grealish. By the way,
let me land what I'm saying. Because he likes extra passes. That's what he wants. Let's not forget Jack Grealish was one of the most exciting players in the Premier League before he linked Pep. Same as Matoma right now. Listen, if you have individualism about you, flair, excitement, stay away from the Pep system. We've seen that all his career, bro.
If you hate winning, if you hate competing on all fronts for every trophy, stay away from Pep, bro. He's the worst.
I'm a football fan. I like football. I'm a fan of football. I like to see what I watch. I don't care about City's success. I just don't want to see very expressive football players playing under Pep Guardiola. Simple as that.
But Grealish about this past first thing, that's nonsense, by the way, right? That's just an excuse from Pep to explain the fact that Grealish has not lived up to his standards, bro. Pass first. I think he probably completed more passes at Villa than he does at City, bro.
He wants that final third retention or whatever he says. And listen, when they lost that game when they played against Villa, I think it was, and I don't think Grealish started or whatever game it was, he was like, this is why we lose the retention in these areas and all that type of stuff. Listen, that's his obsession. You know what I mean? That's his obsession. I just don't want that. See, Pepites, man. Pepites don't understand things. I swear to you, bro. They think football's only one way. They think football's only one way.
All right, Mods, what you doing, bro? I haven't seen these 69mega.com. I haven't seen these kinds of comments in a minute, bro. Mods, please rise. Please rise, Mods. Anyway, City, I'll be very honest, too. The fact that they've let João Felix go this late into the window, or not João Felix, João Cancelo, this late into the window without a replacement, that could be concerning for them. I mean, they're going to trust in their depth. They're going to trust in their squad that's gotten them as deep in these competitions as they've been in the past. But for me, that's a small concern in my opinion. But we'll see where they end up strengthening in the summer. I think that's really where the real business will come for City. The last, or I guess I don't want to say the last of the big six because I think Newcastle are really starting to make that a conversation. But we can move to Spurs. they've signed Danjuma and they've signed Pedro Porro. And I think both those moves have kind of gone under the radar because I think they actually improved them a lot. And this is coming from a huge Conte critic, a huge Spurs critic. But I think those two moves are very good because you look at the form of Son this year, you look at the form of Richarlison this year, the injury concerns of Kulusevski. I think Danjuma is a guy that we saw just a few seasons ago in the Champions League really mash up work, bro. He looked excellent for Villarreal. And I know these last 6 months haven't been great for him at that club, but he's still a player of a lot of quality. And I think you saw in his first game against Preston, this guy has an eye for goal. This guy can create chances, cause problems. And you look at right back, I was saying the other day, Cam, that I think Casemiro to McTominay is one of the biggest drop-offs in quality in an individual position in the entire league. In fact, I think it's the biggest. But I think Pedro Porro to Emerson Royale is not at that level, but it's also a huge gap in quality. Emerson is one of the worst wingbacks for me in Premier League. Pedro Porro, from what I've seen of him at Sporting Lisbon, that's a guy with a lot of quality. And I think Conte's football is so predicated on his wingbacks that signing could really elevate this team a lot. You look at some of the signings that they made last January with Kulusevski and Bentancur. I think these two could also have a similar impact.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with Pedro Porro's game, so I'm not even gonna go too crazy on that. So we'll see what happens. But you know, if it's Conte signing a wing back, Conte knows his wing backs, bro. So I actually think it'll be a hit. I think it'll be a hit straight away because he knows what he's doing. Perisic, I think, has been good for what it's worth at Spurs. But obviously it's not somebody that's in his peak or the peak of his powers as well. Like someone like this Pedro Porro. So I actually think it's going to be a masterstroke, bro. I'm trusting Conte with his wing backs. I saw this guy turn Victor Moses into one of the most lethal wing backs in the Premier League at one point. So listen, I've got faith in him, bruv. I got faith in him to get that one right. But
faith in him, by the way, because I've seen you try and climb away from the Conte hype. I've seen you try and slowly distance yourself.
I've got my manager, bro. I've got my manager. I don't need to. I don't need to talk about him.
That's how you had your manager earlier in the season when Conte was winning games off set pieces, and I saw a bunch of Conte tweets from you. But I see recently you've been trying to distance yourself. Just remember, I remember that kind of stuff, bro.
I got my other manager back. And I got my other manager back.
Who's that?
Sean Dyche. Sean Dyche.
My manager's back. Dyche is in trouble too. I can't lie, because that Everton window is looking immediate. If Sean Dyche keeps this Everton team up, bro, with their one bit of signing being my man Andre Ayew. If that's the one signing they make and he keeps them up, this guy deserves a knighthood or something, bro. That's a crazy accomplishment.
He's keeping them up, bro. Trust me, he's keeping them up. What do you think about Southampton signing? Crystal Palace signed Lokonga. Doherty went to Atletico Madrid. There's been some interesting little moves. Brandon Williams might be going to Fulham. Tuanzebe is linked with Stoke.
Did you see Keylor Navas is going to Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, madness, isn't it?
This league is insane, bro.
Oh, it's the Super League, man.
It's the Super League, bro. These teams, let me tell you this stat, right? Chelsea spent more money than all 78 teams in the Bundesliga, Ligue 1, La Liga, and Serie A combined, bro, in one window. The amount of money that this league has is stupid, bro. Bournemouth were about to sign my man Zaniolo from Roma, and I think they pulled out at the last minute, even though he agreed to go there. The amount of money that these English teams have compared to some of the top teams in Europe, not even just the Auxerres or the Angers or whatever. Like, you're talking Inters, Reals, Juventus. Like, the amount of money that these Premier League teams have compared to that, for me, I keep saying it, it's no wonder why the top European teams wanted to form their own Super League. They're getting left behind in the dust. And you're seeing teams that... Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to say, it's crazy for me, the amount of money that these Premier League teams can spend. And I feel bad for these top European clubs because their league isn't as... For me, it's not marketed as well as the Premier League is. I think the Premier League is like the ultimate market in terms of how it's put on TV. The other leagues struggle in that regard, but it's sad because Inter cannot compete with Inter cannot compete with
their league properly.
Yeah, they did.
They didn't market their league properly. They cashed in on all of the Messi, Ronaldo, La Liga juice. You know what I mean? That was going on. They put everything on there. They don't distribute their money well. If they marketed their league properly, then there'll probably be better opportunities for other clubs to be good and people want to... Bro, let's keep it 100. Sometimes we have to sit down and watch Leeds v Southampton on TV on a Sunday because the Premier League are being marketing it. They're marketing. They're putting these teams on TV. They're doing all of that. In Spain, it's not happening like that, bro. They're cashing in on Barcelona and Real Madrid. Now it's led to a situation where they have one of their most historic club, Sevilla, battling relegation, bro. You know how much of a disaster it's going to be if Sevilla go down? Bro, that league, they listen, in the 2000s, the Serie A did the same thing. But they ruined it by being corrupt, right? Too much corruption going on in Italy. They ruined their league. Spain, they've had their moment. They cashed in on the Ronaldo, Messi, Real Madrid, Barcelona duopoly, and now they're looking around like, oh shit, what's going on? Do you know what I mean? And the Premier League continued to market it, continue to be attractive to foreign investors, continue to just be that league that people wanna watch. And this is the situation we're in, man. This situation we're in. They need to those leagues. What they need to do is get new owners of the divisions, not owners of clubs, and get new owners of divisions so they can find out how you can actually market and distribute money across the league and stuff. So it's gonna be like Perez is just trying to find a way. Obviously, Super League, if it happens, it happens. I used to be way more against it than I am now, but Perez is just trying to find a way to keep Real Madrid lit and fuck the rest of you guys, pretty much. Like, that's how he's trying to do it. But at some point, they need to get the league patterned. They need to sort that country's league out, bro, domestically. So it's going to take a while, but we always know it. Every era, as we say, every era, there's always eras. As I said, once upon a time was the Italian league. Once upon a time was the Spanish league. Now we're just living in the Premier League era. Who knows what's going to happen in the future?
I think the amount of money, like, look, we're both Premier League fans predominantly. We both support one of the richest teams on the planet, period. Forget about the Premier League. But as someone who again loves watching European football and loves these big classic European teams, for me, it's very, very sad seeing the state that they're in, bro. I remember a few years ago, like, the statistic was the team that won the championship playoff, basically the game to send the third team up in the championship, would win more from that game than Inter would win from winning the Serie A. Like, that for me is absolutely insane. You look then into the Champions League when Inter goes and plays these other teams. For example, when they play Liverpool last year, Liverpool's bench was worth more than Inter's entire starting 11 combined. Shit is crazy. It's
crazy, man. Money is taking over everything, and the way everyone's spending now, and what we're going to see in the summer with Newcastle, with United, with all this, United are trying to get a takeover, Liverpool trying to get. Bro, sometimes I feel like football is going to crash. Like, how does it even continue this way? Like, the money is ridiculous. Like, literally everyone is at least 80 million nowadays. It feels like Caicedo, Mudryk. I'm not saying Chelsea are the team that are ruining football or anything, but Enzo, 100 and something million, or what's going to happen. Anthony, Grealish, all these type of signings, bro. It's too much money, bro. It's too much money. I don't know how it's going to continue, but I feel like it's going to crash one day, but hey, let's see.
It has to, bro. It has to. You can't, I agree with you, bro. Money is not infinite. It's a very finite resource. You cannot keep spending 100. What Chelsea are doing right now, 600 million pounds a window. It's not sustainable. Like, eventually these prices are going to have to come down in totality. But the one thing I will say is that teams that are getting 100 million for Mudryk, or teams that are getting 120 million for Fernandez or Dortmund, who are probably going to get 150 million for Jude Bellingham, they need to start spending that money more wisely and building up their team and becoming more competitive in Europe themselves. That's what they're going to have to do, because if not, bro, you're going to have the top 20 teams in world football are going to be all from the Premier League. That's crazy.
Bro, I saw somebody talking about, we need that Ozil moment for Enzo. But I'm like, hey, Enzo ain't got the streets like that, bro.
Yesterday, Cam, I was saying, because I said, like, I can only dread thinking about how much Jude Bellingham would go for compared to, like, we see all these prices. And I said, like, whether you think Enzo is a better player than Jude or not.
God in your life, fuck, nigga.
I think the reality is, whether you think Enzo is better than Jude or Jude is better than Enzo, Jude's name, both commercially and sporting wise, how long he's done it compared to Enzo, the fact that he's English, for me, he's going to go for more than Jude Bellingham. People were saying Enzo is a bigger name than Jude because he won the World Cup and he was young player of the tournament. For me, that's crazy.
No way. Jude Bellingham is definitely a bigger name. When you just have that English marketing behind you, he's marketable because he's good looking and all of that type of stuff. It's gonna go far. As Rant said Enzo's teeth look like he should be playing for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So
What you saying? If he went to Real Madrid, they'd have him do the surgery like James' wife. You're too ugly for our club, bro. That's crazy.
Yo, listen. But yeah, Jude obviously has the marketing, bro. He has the marketing. He has everything about it. You know what I'm trying to say? He's good looking. He's good at football, obviously. He's English. He's got the buzz. He was doing things in the World Cup. Everything is how it goes, man. It's how
Forget
it
about
goes.
just that, Cam. Sorry to interrupt you real quick.
AMH, bro. Good looking it plays a part in marketability, bro. You think Beckham would have got that far if he wasn't good looking?
Be comfortable in yourselves, by the way. Why y'all got to jump on Cam for that? You can't call another man good looking. I was gonna say this too, right? Jude is a box to box, all action, goal scoring midfielder. Enzo is a DLP, bro. DLPs are never going to be deep line playmakers. Will never ever be bigger names than the guys who go and grab the goals. It's just the reality of the situation, bro. Toni Kroos would never ever be a bigger name than, I don't know, like who's Kevin De Bruyne, for example. He'll never be a bigger name. Now, whoever you think is better, fair enough. But if you put both of them on the market, only one of them is going for more money than the other.
Yeah, no, facts, bro. Facts. So that's the reality, man. That's the reality, bro. It's all about what you want to go and see, and you want to see all action, he's in the goals and all that type of stuff. So you're spitting, bro.
Facts. We'll see if the Enzo deal kind of goes over the line, but we've been going for an hour, 20 minutes. Oh, we did get a super chat real quick before we do dip. Michael says, Cams was right earlier. Joining Pep now is like joining Popovich's San Antonio Spurs. Go and you lose all uniqueness and flair. Might win, but that's amazing.
Thank you.
That's Michael, the best comment of the night. Fair enough.
Thank you. Somebody said, to be fair, KDB is ugly.
Nah, okay, that's a different point. KD.
Look, yeah, that's why KDB's marketing is capped. You know what I mean? That's why it's capped. So
it's capped. It's already pretty high, bro. I can't lie. KDB be finessing himself in the team of the years and the player of the year
conversation. His marketing, is KDB that marketable?
I think in terms of like, you ask the average person on the street for the last 5 years who's the best midfielder on the planet, they'll all say Kevin De Bruyne the last 5 years.
And that's not about that though.
But the reality is he probably hasn't been, bro. But the fact is that he's marketed in a way that everyone thinks he's the best.
Yeah, but that's just through his ability. Like, is he marketable? Is KDB going to be is he like a front of posters type of guy? You know what I'm trying to say?
Probably not.
He's not, you know what I mean? Even Paul Pogba was more marketable than him.
Defo.
This is what I'm saying. As much as Messi is what he was, Messi's marketability is quite forced on us. He's just
happens to be amazing at football. So it's like, you have to,
you have to, you know what I mean? But like, you look at Beckham's marketability and stuff, like only a few shaky guys have only a few.
You're crazy. What the?
No, bro, listen. Only a few shaky looking guys have been marketable, bro. Rooney, Zidane, Ronaldinho, and R9. Keep guarding your life, fuck nigga. Real talks. Bro, I'm just keeping it 100. You know
You're rude, bro. I can't lie. What you say fuck Zidane for?
Nah, that's my goat, man. But you know how it goes, man.
You're crazy, bro. You're crazy. Look, guys, I think we're going to call it a day here. I can't lie. Thank you for anyone who tuned in. Hour 20 minutes. Transfer deadline day special. Special looking is crazy, bro. Or shaky looking. That's insane.
Bro, why do you think Kane isn't marketable?
No, but he can't talk.
But
that also doesn't help, bro. The fact is he's boring as hell.
Maybe.
I think that's more because, like you said about Ronaldinho, to take your words, is shaky looking.
Yeah. To be fair, I was harsh on Zidane. No, I was harsh on Zidane.
Zidane is fine, bro.
I was harsh on him still.
Good looking Algerian man right there.
But I don't know about all that, mate.
Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been the deadline day special. Hopefully in the next 30 to an hour, Enzo doesn't just like come out of nowhere. I hope that Benfica and Rui Costa stand strong, stand their ground, keep your player. Don't let big old Chelsea bully you. But it looks like this is the end of the deadline. It looks like all the big moves are over the line. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let us know in the comment section below what grade you would give for your team, whoever you support, whether it's Arsenal, United, Chelsea, Spurs, City, Liverpool. Give them an A through F. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe. like the video, notifications on, share this with all your friends. And we'll see you tomorrow. We got FTBL Culture back tomorrow. A very, very special episode. You'll understand the connotation of that. A very special one tomorrow. Until then, we'll see you when you see you. Peace.